welcome on in everyone to the Blood Lodge, where we're going to be seeing Master or Dark on the killer side to start things off for tonight. And honestly, I'm really excited to see S-tiers off the bat. Dark going to be taking his first chance over to the shack and getting the pallet break almost immediately.
Yeah, big start there, big shack pallet down already, and we're going to see a lot of pressure here. Blight, notoriously an S-tier killer, very strong. And if my prediction is correct, Dark should be looking to secure at least a 4K, and then possibly just be looking at how many gens he can limit the survivors doing, damage limitations. But on his first hit, looking for the second one, he's going to go round the pallet, tries to get the mind game, and he does successfully get it. Dark finds his first hook of the game. And not too bad for a first chase, not too bad at all.
Yeah, no, exactly right. I don't want to cast the curse myself here, which I'm sure is going to be something you're going to get introduced to quite quickly, Barry. But the first gen is yet to pop. We've got our first hook of the game, and the blocking is beautiful from Dark. But the Jukes are even stronger from Ipic, who's going to dodge it. That he can still be able to greed this pallet a bit and have a bit of time in this chase as the unhook is happening across the map. And we're going to go straight back over towards it, try and get our tunnel out as early as possible, which is just such a necessity for any killer really, but on an ST killer like a Blight, you have the power and the mobility to do it nice and quickly. We are also seeing Lucky Break on Exos here, who is our designated tunneler of the trial here. He's going to be able to get a body from Ipic though, to prolong the chase for a little bit longer, and Ipic is actually not going to be the one getting chased here. We're going to try and track down the Lucky Break, and we do find Exos once again.
Check sports. Oh, they're going to be perfect. Exos just dodged it, but I reckon he's going to go down there, and he does go down. This is a quick tunnel out and a dangerous scenario now for Sequence. And I think what's interesting to think about right here as we do go and put Exos on for his second stage is had Dark got that initial hit into Ipic wouldn't have been able to take that body block, and it could be even worse than it already is for Sequence right now.
Oh, no, 100%. And still yet to see that first generator popping, but as we have a look around, we see that the first gen is popping and a second gen has a decent amount of progress. We're going to be getting a tag onto Ipic, who is a position. I think Adam was also not too far away from where Ipic was as well, unless they have two very progressed gens. So Sequence obviously still keeping their foot in the door and trying to keep as much pressure on the board as possible, as Dark has come back to try and confirm the elimination on to Excise, which would make this a 3v1 at such a devastating stage of the fight, as well as we see Swatter, and we also see our Nia Seth coming in for the save, but Dark manages to body block the hook, and the rescue is not going to be possible anymore. Nia tries to go for the save,
she
but
gets
the
it.
still happens. Nia gets down, but still gets the unhook. Swatter still healthy. Paladin dropped at the crane, and oh my goodness, that is so crucial position.
Yeah, it's massive, but they're unable to take any body block to Excise. Yes, they got him off the hook because he's going straight back on, but that is crucial time bought for the survivors. I thought maybe, you know, Master had a massive head start in this game because he got a pop on the progressed gen. Get the heal off and they can't body block the hook. That is Excise going down so early. 3 gens to go, and I'm just not sure on the progression of these other generators. That one gen that I think had been doing, that got hit with pop. I think it's been, I can't remember if it's the second time. Oh, the Pluto tech was attempted, but unsuccessful. Seth goes down quickly, and Dark, this is looking very strong for him.
And I think we also spot Ipic out just on the corner of our lines as well, trying to be in position for a save or for a gen, and Ipic this is going to break him and try and get as far as possible. But Dark is on an unstoppable pain train right now, getting that tag onto Ipic through the pallet. Ipic's going to try and wrap around, and is going to be able to stop the bounce. Is going to go down. We should be able to acquire another fresh hook here, but no. We want to go straight back to keep that reset from happening. We know where all of our survivors are. We need to capitalize on that. Wow.
Oh my god, the pressure is just insane. I thought initially Ipic might have had that Pluto tech just to deny that initial collision so Blight can't use his lethal rush, but it didn't work out and Seth goes down straight away. Dark just seems to be everywhere at the map at once. I know he is Blight, but it's like he's got, you know, natural barbecue on. He just knows where every survivor is, and this genuinely, he could prevent another gen from popping here. This could be a 4K with 3 gens still to go, and that is a monumental task. for the Sequence Killer to try and overcome. Good stealthing, but he's going to get caught, surely. He does get found, and the hit in, he's going to get that unhooked. He has to go for it, surely. He's going to save it, and Ada, yeah, he's got 10 seconds BT, but he's just going to wait it out. No chance, really, for Ada to rescue this one.
And with the Shack Pallet being gone as well, you're not going to be able to really make a play to get the pickup, but iPick does get the pallet stuff. We also do need to be mindful as well that because this is Blight, we are going to be allowed to see Unbreakable. And we do see it coming out from Swatter, and the pickup happens at the same time. Sequence to turn the situation into something good.
Oh!
That's got to be either Dead Hard or We're Gonna Live Forever, but I'm just gonna go and assume that it's Dead Hard, but wow.
Yeah, it could be a number of things there. And I think what we've got to realise at this point is it probably is going to be a 4K for Dark. But survivors have to try and get some gens done. They've got it's basically damage limitation at this point. Can they get some gens done, make it a little bit easier for their killer when they do the swap over? Because Dark is going to repair from start to finish here on Blood Lodge.
Dark is just so good at spotting out where our survivors have rotated away to being able to hit through the main building over here. It's gonna go down here. Oh, the bump logic is just too strong. Not being able to predict in time where Dark's gonna be coming from, and once again got 2 slugs and not enough survivors capacitated. Sorry. English is my main language, by the way. Just not really having anyone available to work on those active gens, and Dark even having to go and try kick one all the way across the map before going for wherever Swatter makes.
No, exactly. I thought for a second there he had some kind of intuition of where Swatter would be, and I was like, how the hell would you know where Swatter is? But no, he just wanted to make sure that no gens were getting done. He wants to give his survivor team the biggest opportunity possible to secure this first there. And Dark is just, I can't fault anything he's done during this. On point. He had that one whiff on the iPick towards the start, but the rest of that has been completely flawless. Hard racer than I'd expected. Even though I expected him to do well, he has really stepped up for his team.
We're going to be able to get the pop on this gen that I believe Swatter would have had to have worked on. Not directing anymore. Going to try and spot out if Swatter is going to go for either the slug pickup or the unhook, but Dark is just too quick to secure that pickup onto Seth, and potentially even another pop goes to Weasel if Swatter decides to try and commit to that gen. Now, I was going to say earlier, it's very rare that you will see a Blight game, even from the strongest of teams, with 0 mistakes made, but this is, I think, the closest to perfection that we have seen in a long while.
It's been so good, and it's not even about the 0 mistakes, it's about the active plays he's made as well. He hasn't just not messed up. Ooh! Is he getting this done? Surely there's no way Dark can read this. Yeah, no, he's not gone to the right gen, he's just going to close Hatch. And can they get the gen done before Hatch closes? I don't think they will get the gen done. Hatch is
I think they will.
Not at Shack. Oh, sorry, there's still Seth on the hook. I missed that, and yeah, Dark preempted it. It's an interesting play there, him going for Hatch. And yeah, he goes for Hatch, and now Adam to pop that gen. It's going to make it a little bit harder for a survivor teammate. Still very doable for Master, and it's going to be the chase to Shack here. Blight surely should be able to catch Adam.
Yeah, I don't think anyway that Adam is going to be able to make it, and ever so close, but no cigar. We're going to close that hatch first to make sure that no escapes are going to be happening here, but that secures the final result of this first game to be a 4K at 2 generators remaining. I know it can be a bit confusing when the hatch gets closed because it's thrown me off many a times, but 4K2 would set your scores at 8 points to 6 points to sequence and 28 points to master. Obviously 28 being the maximum you can get on killer for that 4K. So really impressive performance from Dark, and we're just going to have to wait and see how Sequence retaliates, if they're going to be able to replicate that kind of score after a short break.
Alright, welcome back everyone from wherever you're watching us around the world. iPick with a monumental task ahead of him. They've got to do some serious damage here. Not only do they have to secure the 4K, they've got to prevent no more than 3 gens from getting done. So, big tall order, and my question for you, Spoker, is can they do it?
Honestly, with the build that we're going to be seeing coming out from iPick now, going for an enduring pick instead of brutal strength, it actually can save a bit of time when you're, you know, sort of forcing to play for the pallet stun as opposed to respecting the pallet. But then again, Survivor teams can obviously pick up on that strategy and potentially play around it a bit. As you can see here, our ace has so many pallets in this area to utilize, but it's still going to be getting tagged here though. iPick almost missing the M2 there. Is going to be able to get a tag onto Sir and get the chase taken towards the not corrupt gen, sorry. So Shack pallet is going to get thrown once again at the start of the trial, but yeah, no, this definitely could be a very good start for iPick, which it is.
Yeah, the first chase is always so important, and especially with a task as tall and order as the one iPick has before him, the first chase has to be quick. And yes, okay, it was pretty good, but I can't help but feel Sir for quite a lot of time there for his survivors, especially against the Blight. Probably not the greatest start there. Gen has already been popped, and not many more to go before survivors will meet their win condition.
Now, I do want to quickly note as we are going to get a pop goes the Weasel and an eruption application to a very progressed generator, which will help out iPick a lot. And we get some info on someone over at this crane, but iPick did actually manage to get the first hook a little bit quicker than what we saw in the last trial. We saw sequence survivors taking bodies to try and make that first chase as quick as long as possible. My apologies, but speaking of chases, we're going to take it straight back onto the ace at the shack. We see Adam here coming in for a body, but
oh, he gets it.
He does get it. Wow.
Yeah, brilliant play there from Pedro, just prolonging this. I mean, you've got to get the tunnel out if you want to try and protect your gens as much as possible. It's very hard to protect gens against four survivors. You need that tunnel out, and Sir, I don't know whether to call that a misplay or he's just been caught lacking around Shack there. And iPick's just going for that aggression. He wants a second one. If he can get a slug here, this is massive, but he actually whiffs it. Pedro there buying his team crucial time. If he goes down here, that's a lot of pressure created for sequence. But Master just hanging on for now. And the DS comes through. That DS is massive. The blind. Oh, the blind doesn't come through, but it's not going to matter. This is looking already so over for sequence. And Larry's is beckoning.
Oh dear, well, we can't count sequence out just yet. We are going to spot out the chase back onto our ace. We did get the eruption onto this generator, so it's not going to get completed just yet. We get that tag onto Marco, who we saw from eruption earlier was working on that gen. The second gen gets done by Palais off in the distance for gen number 2 to be completed. Third gen with so much progress. If we can get it down onto ace, or instead go for the hook and go for a pop, hopefully we can stop that third gen from being completed, which would put us into the tie condition. But iPick definitely wants to prevent that from happening, and there we see they're going to have to pre-leave and pre-drop the pallet. 2 survivors injured, and Pele, the only really capable survivor to bring this back for Master. But iPick, they're actually going to be going for the reset onto ace, which I would assume would be towards the top side of the map here, maybe even around main building. iPick going to give it a quick check, but not quite going to be able to find out where. We do hear a little bit of progress, and we do spot out our ace.
Yeah, no, this is perfectly played here from Master. They know they had the good start. The DS came through. They're just going to slow things down now. They don't want things to get out of hand. Getting that reset in. You saw Marco heading to the hills. Doesn't want to get chased around that very close to being completed gen. And Master should be able to just nudge this one over the line. They still need 2 gens to get the win condition. One more gen only will bring us to a tie, but I'd be very surprised, to be honest, if they don't get 5 gens completed here.
Oh, and with that third gen getting completed, that will put us into Tycon! But a beautiful crash tech from Sir! And a cheeky teabag with a little slide tech in the winner. That is absolutely beautiful stuff. We know the pallet's already been dropped here. We're going to take some very alternate palming here, which is going to throw iPick off a bit as well. Come to the edge map, and we are going to prevent this down as much as possible. And I think Master knows that they've got this one in the bag, and that deliverance was just another salt to the wound. The DS, the deliverance, all these perks that you had to play around to try and go for win con, but that's not going to be, unfortunately.
No, after getting caught there at Shaq, Sir is feeling himself. Oh, well, after the DS, sorry. After getting caught at Shaq, Sir is feeling himself there. Getting a little bit rude in the corner. And that's got to get into the head of iPick. But I think Sequence have got to hold their head high. iPick's, going to try and close this one out as well as he can. Points always matter towards the end of the season. So although Master are going to be taking this set. I didn't even see that, Laurie. Yeah, with a lovely body block. Although Master will be taking this set, they're still going to want to make sure they can get as many points as possible as Ace gets another stun.
Now, very interesting to mention. Sir actually did a bit of a panic dead hard when Laurie took the hit. So seeing that gone, I think definitely would have felt a lot more comfortable to go for this chase. But Sir has been doing such a beautiful job. And Laurie's even back here to take it down. But iPick doesn't even care. Manages to get around, get that elimination. But at what cost? We could be seeing the 5th generator getting completed here as that team gets into position to play for this endgame. We did see Eruption coming into play a lot more in this trial for iPick, but we are going to catch out in the final gen. We get a tag. We're not going to be able to get a... Oh!
They're both committing. And they get the grab. They get the gen done. I think that's worth it in the end, given that they know iPick's running Pop and Eruption. So, a necessary sacrifice. Pedro getting whacked as well. And you know what? If iPick keeps up this pressure, he could find himself in a slugging situation with Palace still on the hook. But this one's just taking a little bit too long. Surely Marco's heading back in there for the save, unless they're just going for the door and want to secure that escape.
Well, Pedro playing this tile really, really well. Is also going to be able to juke out the dash as well. Force the slug by the locker grab as Marco will take the fresh escape. And I think that's going to be 9 stages to finish us off here from Sequence's side.
Yeah, that should be. I don't believe that Marco was hooked at all. The classic solo queue evacuation there. Doesn't get hooked at all and just leaves his teammates to die. But no, this is comp. They know exactly what they're doing. They've secured this set, and well, as predicted, it's going to be Sequence to bring it back on Larry's. A pick we've rarely seen. We've seen it once so far in DBDLeague. It's all to play for, and this is going to be a real test for both our teams here.
Yeah, and we did see a really, really nice performance from both of our killers here, but how are the scores looking at the end for this set, do you reckon, Barry?
The scores? Oh, I'm so glad you asked me that. So I go to the match chat. That is going to be 41 for Master, 27 for Sequence. So a very, very convincing win there for Master. Dark really showing us what his Blight is made of. And we'll see you all back after a short break. After a short break here on Larry's with Ghost Face. Catch you in a bit, guys.
Alrighty, welcome back, everyone. Little bit of housekeeping. We did see the lightweight being brought in by Master, so that is unfortunately going to be a -2 and a restart to start off the second set. Now, Sequence are obviously going to be very, very happy with this, and iPick is going to have to, I guess, try and go for a bit of a better start than we saw in the last game, as we only really managed to get a couple of tags. The resets came through, and straight away we're going to be getting the chase onto Nancy, sort of similar to what we saw in the last trial, and some info on another survivor, and wonder what's going to happen here.
No, much better start for iPick, and I wonder if this is going to rattle Master a bit. They've given Sequence a way back into this, entire game. We've still got 2 matches to play out before us, but I'm going to pause my sentences. Ghostface has found Nancy once again, and they go into this, but pretty safe palette. Nancy should be playing this optimally. Goes for the swing. Never in a million years. But yeah, Master gifting Sequence a way back into it. It's going to take the pressure a little bit off iPick, because those -2 points are massive. That could be the difference between a 4K and 2 gens and a 4K and 1 gen, just narrowing the win conditions. So iPick should be feeling a little bit more confident going into it, knowing his task is a tiny bit easier.
Now, we just saw earlier where Nancy was looping one of the strongest window spawns that you ever see in the game, or on Larry's really, but a devastatingly strong window that can spawn on Larry's with a big trash pile in a hospital bed going around it. Almost impossible to play around. That is going to be quite scary, but with the pallet gone in that tile, maybe not so scary. But obviously it got pallets in very regular positions on Larry's. IPIC going to get that eruption on the main area generator. We do want to try and preserve these gens up at the top side as much as possible, as this is where most Ghost Faces will be playing their end games. So should hopefully be able to find Leon, I think, in a perfect world, and try and get a nice quick down with that 10% extra movement speed from the purple add-on. I'm bad with names, but we do spot out Leon nonetheless, get the tag and the pallet drop.
Yeah, he's going to get his power back straight away from breaking that pallet. I think he saw a crow just take off there, which allowed him to catch Leon off guard. And although it seemed like a very promising start in the beginning, he seems to have dropped off the pace a little bit, but I think he's just concerned about protecting these gens, keeping up that 3-gen, and just getting tags where he can. Of course, Ghostface, the weaker killer, getting that sloppy butcher. So that's going to kick in sooner or later.
And yeah, as we have a look around at what the team's doing, we are going to be seeing a full reset coming out on the complete opposite side of the map, as you should try and be as far away from this 3-gen as possible. You are sacrificing a lot of your early game pressure, but you still have generators are cranking and a whole lot of progress. So IPIC is going to try and nullify that with the dryer kick, and it's just going to be looking around to see who tapped it from before, because I believe it was regressing just earlier as well, and we had a triple reset, sorry, on the bottom side. So things should be starting to speed back up once again as our survivors rotate back in to break that 3-gen. I believe it could even be a 4-gen. We saw a lot of them in close proximity, but this is very typical for Larry's RNG.
No, exactly, and as you were saying as well, negating that early pressure which survivors normally get the game from the start of the map, getting loads of gen progress done. Although it may seem like Ghostface has done hit and run and they've got it healed, so it's negated the damage, he's managed to set up Eruption on a couple of gens now in that very big area and catches Nancy off guard. Oh, that's a big misplay. The Eruptions pop off, and if he can find a Pain Res as well, this is an excellent start for IPIC.
Yeah, no, a Pain Res will be absolutely crucial to make sure that that 1st-gen doesn't get completed. We got those eruptions going off across the map. Absolutely beautiful stuff. We even hear Adam getting screamed from the Pain Reses. We know almost which gen would probably be the most progressed, as we see what looks to be a missed skill check off at the top right-hand part of the map, and IPIC is going to be obviously waiting for that eruption cooldown, reapplying it to as many gens as he can. And yeah, I totally like the idea of trying to just go straight for a different chase here, not quite being able to get some lean stalk on whoever we have over here, but we do have a fairly strong setup to utilize here, and I'm sure Marco and the rest of the team will be made very well aware of it. But IPIC is straying too far from the hook. We need to make sure that this rescue doesn't come too early.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to stray too far at all, doesn't want to get drawn into an unnecessary chase. Like we said, he actually did have quite a strong start, although it might not seem like it, looking down the side of your screen. Preventing those early gens from going means he can almost kind of safely face camp this hook, because he knows those gens aren't going to pop as fast as they normally would. He can secure the 2nd stage, and I wonder if he's just going to secure this all the way out.
We are going to be seeing the 1st-gen finally getting completed, which should officially break the 4-gen up at the top. And we hear a lot of progress on this gen from Marco, and the blast mine going to be coming out and blinding the retinas of IPIC here. We are getting the eruption applied. We do have Pally getting rescued in the distance. Was going to say time's ticking away, but that rescue does come through. We should still have at least another survivor being able to work on some topside gens and make that setup not as difficult to manage. And we do see the main gen getting completed, but we are going to be seeing Pedro taking a hit for Pally, who is taking the chase.
Yeah, Adam there just in time to prevent Pally going straight back on the hook. And that blast mine was actually crucial. It prevented the Ghostface from getting there just a couple of seconds earlier to try and build up stalk on another survivor, meaning he can't apply pressure straight away. 2 gens have now been popped, and this amazing start we had from IPIC is slowly fading away as Pally is sitting there under a god pallet. He's now worried about this gen. He's really kind of caught between 2 minds. He doesn't know where to go, and he's going to follow Pally all the way through this. And I don't think Nancy's got the legs for this. This is going to be very close, right up to the pallet. Oh, he's going to have to swing. Does he get it? He doesn't get it. Gets stunned out his power. He's going to get it back thanks to the green add-on. But the ramifications from that are massive. that gen's getting worked on. Missed skill check isn't actually going to matter at all. iPick has got his eyes set on Pally here, but the body blocks are coming in time. The cavalry have arrived, and iPick now is in a really bad spot.
No, it's really, really nice to see that the team is doing everything they can to try and stop Pally from getting down once again. As with Pally gone, iPick trying to go for the... Oh my goodness, this is so smart from Dark to know exactly what iPick was going for there, to get into power and use the sword to try and break through the body block. But just by continuing to hold W may not seem like much of a big brain play, but that prevents iPick from being able to phase through and get the down onto our Deadhook Survivor. We had 2 gens getting completed in the distance for this as well, and iPick has just committed so much time to going for this tunnel out that he has to just continue to commit.
Yeah, no chance to go back. He can't backpedal now. And yeah, you were right in saying, for those of you who don't know at home, there are certain killers who can kind of phase through survivors that are trying to take body blocks. Ghost Face, lesser known of the many, like Myers and Sadako. But yeah, he has to commit, and has he gone away from this? Has he lost track of Nancy? Or he's going for the Leon. He doesn't want this gen getting done, and a smart down there.
Yeah, no, at this point of the trial, not being able to get the tunnel out is going to be really, really painful, and we do need to try and at least get some pain res stacks being used before all those gens get done quickly. Then we can really manage, but getting all your fresh hooks as well is very, very crucial. We find the reset though onto Pally, we get the tag onto Mark. Yeah, we saw the whole team trying to reset in a somewhat close by spot, thinking maybe iPick won't check here, but unfortunately he did, and the reset did eventually come through. So at least our Deadhook Survivor does have another health state to work with, but with 2 other injured survivors and Sloppy Butcher to deal with, and spotting out Pedro as well, not going to be able to get reset and gets mind gamed at the pallet. Is iPick just going to slug this?
I think so. If he can go in, if he can get something over here, he might turn around straight away. But that gen in the corner, he's going to be aware of ticking down. Nancy fully healed, and he's going for Nancy here. Takes the hit, and yeah, really tricky spot. I've got no idea what the correct play here would be for iPick. So many different micro situations to manage. He's got the Slug Survivor, a gen about to pop, possible resets going on. He's got a stealth power to use. So much going through the mind of iPick here, and it's really going to shine through how good a killer he can be.
Exactly right, but I think it's absolutely crucial that iPick went for this fresh hook pain res. Yeah, that's exactly right. Very, very well played by iPick. Again, having to let the Deadhook Survivor get away. It's really, really tough, but in hindsight, I'm sure we'll all learn how crucial this will be to try and get the best result possible. So if iPick can catch out if a reset is happening, which we do see Pally getting reset, obviously the priority being the Deadhook Survivor. If we can spot out this reset, which I think we do, we see the scratch marks over by this gen, and we are going to be catching out Marco, who should still be able to make it to this pallet. Oh, and the green was so perfectly timed.
Yeah, has to force him around this way. Doesn't want to get palleted on the other side. Baits the drop. And now Ace, this is a crucial point in the game. He's got to make this chase last, and he's doing a good job so far. Going to run round towards the left. No, stays there for a second. The crouching, that he's ducking, he's weaving. Ace is going to go down. No pallet to save him this time. But that was crucial time games. Oh, but they were going for a reset while that was happening. The gens weren't getting pushed, and I believe this is going to be another pain res.
I think so as well. I don't think we've seen Marco getting hooked just yet.
That's
and there
massive.
Goes, yeah, there goes the last token.
The pain reses have really come through here. It was a really tricky spot for iPick, but he's got like back-to-back pain reses, fresh hooks guaranteed. And while Master was so focused on not getting their Nancy tunneled out, they've given 3 fresh hooks to iPick here, who's definitely got a chance of securing something. Finds 2 survivors. He's going to go for the Nancy, and you can't blame him here. Nancy on death hook, as she has been for so long now. And does he commit to this, or does he go back, put Eruption on, and protect his final generator? No, he's going to opt for the chase.
It's so unfortunate that Nancy is going to be the one in chase here. There was a moment of hesitation from iPick as the reset was happening onto Adam, but Nancy obviously going to insta-throw this pallet here, trying to go for the mind game. iPick went for the insta-sweep. We have Leon here to take a body, and we still have so many resources to use. Nancy being able to utilize windows of opportunity, as we can see here, to know exactly where to go. iPick is going to try and once again phase through, but by constantly looping this pallet, it's just not going to be possible, and iPick is going to drop the chase and go for Dark.
Yeah, Nancy's actually in a good spot there. That pallet in the corner is actually pretty good. If you know your check spots, you can just stand there and prevent the bloodlust from building up. So I think that's why iPick kind of did that wild swing, recognize the strength that could be possible, you know, that pallet can provide, and didn't want to completely throw the game from there. He can still get some more stages. He can prevent gens for a little bit longer. So he doesn't want to just throw the game for one survivor.
Yeah, no, iPick has definitely learned from his mistakes earlier in the trial, but even then, you can't really call it mistakes. That's just really well plays from Master's side. And reset coming out onto Dark. Oh no, we are going to catch out Pally and Leon. We get the tag onto Leon though, and man, poor Nancy just zoned to this back part of the map. iPick is unfortunately gonna have to break such a strong pallet and can't waste any more time. Pally's gonna be able to survive another onslaught, and no elimination is gonna happen just yet. But iPick cannot spend too much time going for the chase, as that final gen could pop at any moment if we don't get some eruption coming out, as no more pain res.
Yeah, Nancy's been on death's door for so long now, and she just keeps dodging it, preventing it. Ace coming in here, and yeah, we've not really seen any marks this game. A lot of stabs out of stealth, and I really felt like that was the opportunity. That was an opportunity for iPick to get a really big result here, and he might just have to eventually settle for less. He's gonna try and get another down onto Dark, playing it nicely. The crouching, trying to swing round. Oh, but Dark's ready for it. He's 5 steps ahead, and that final gen does get done. The swing does come in, and Dark's going to go down. If he can secure this, I believe this will be a second into third, so 2 stage for the price of 1. But yeah, that whiff onto Palais was so big that could have changed the game, because iPick didn't have any pain reses left. He couldn't kind of adopt that same strategy he was doing before, going for fresh hooks, getting those pain reses, so that gen was always going to pop. Getting Palais out then would have been huge, and yeah, just going to secure this into second and third stage, and ooh, that game could have gone either way.
Yeah, we just had to give Leon a moment there to scream for the next 10 seconds. I'm sure that was some lovely ASMR for the stream, but what a very impressive result. Master doing everything they can to make up for the -2 penalty from earlier. So that's going to be having the score sitting at 13 points to Master and 18 points to Sequence. So definitely a winnable score, for Master if they want to take the clean 2-0 sweep, but we're only really going to be able to find out after this short break.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sequence this time to try and pull it back. They are a set down, but as we were just discussing behind the scenes, this is their map pool. They should be confident as survivors running Pedro and getting some good escapes. We're not entirely sure on the win condition. It's still kind of being figured out, but Spoker, we're looking at about 7 to 8 stages here for Pedro.
Yeah, I believe if Pedro were to get 2 kills or more, anything above 8 or 9 stages around that mark, we will be seeing Master getting a 2-0 victory here, and Pedro getting some really early stalk on a lot of our survivors here could indicate that we could have a pretty good start. We're not really being able to break out here, and Pedro can just play peekaboo here, but we do have a survivor in the distance. I believe that was either Swatter or iPick who managed to break out our Ghost Face here, and Pedro not really going to be able to zone Seth back towards the top area. So is going to be able to make it in map, but going towards the active gens though, should be happy with the amount of stalk that we're seeing here on the board, as most of our survivors have been caught out here in the corrupt gens, so we need to take them up towards the non-corrupt and try and get a hook in there, and that will already be a really nice start for Pedro. But Sequence are doing Sequence things and getting these early gens done nice and quickly.
Yeah, a good start there actually. He's got stalks on, you know, lots of different survivors, spreading that kind of potential to catch one of them out. I should note as well that instead of the 10% movement speed buff after marking survivor that iPick ran, the purple add-on, instead they've gone for the brown, the Philly lens, which I believe reduces the time to mark a survivor by 20%. So a bit of a notable change here. And as we can see, all these kind of stalks progressing on these different survivors, that could come into play. Oh, fine, Swatter, and that's going to be a mark for sure. Here we go. How well can Swatter run this? That's going to be an instant pallet drop, of course. And the Nightfall coming back. I mean, he's already still is a Nightfall, because you can't reveal Ghost Face once being marked anymore. It used to be a thing, not since Ghost Face got reworked. And taking him back towards this kind of typical 3-gen area. And they don't really have that bad a gen layout. I think it's pretty much better than what we saw for the last time, although that is that 3-gen a bit more distant. But I definitely argue that Sequence have got it better here than Master did.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. I'd have to agree with you there. And trying to really cut off Swatter here, go for a really, really unique sort of catch-up here. I don't know if we've quite been able to catch out Swatter. No, this is going to be Seth, who's going to be getting nice and stalked up as well. Unfortunate that we couldn't catch Swatter, but I'm sure Seth can last a decent amount of time here before getting marked, and the snap out comes just in time. That is so huge, and a pallet stun plus 10 wood to the face is going to really set it in stone that has really hindered Pedro's start for this trial. So that is really, really tough, but Pedro is not out for the count just yet. We still have the whole game to get through, and I believe we should be seeing the gen in the library getting completed soon, but we get the mark onto iPick. Gonna try and catch up a bit here. No extra movement speed, as you were saying earlier. I'm glad someone knows their Ghost Face add-ons more than me, but hopefully we should be seeing it down onto iPick here.
Yeah, iPick just holding W, just trying to prolong this as much as possible, allow their team a lot of chance, and the teamwork here from Sequence has been massive. But Seth, you were 99, I'm afraid. You somehow snapped out Ghostface, and you're going to go down for it, but that's 2 gens gone already. The pain red's coming in, but this is a bad spot, yeah. Maybe with Shadowborn, but I think the angle was just a bit too tight there for Swatter as he tries to come in for the flashlight save. Yeah, can't believe Seth snapped out Ghostface that first time, but Ghostface, because of that, had Seth completely 99 and caught Seth out badly. But the teamwork here from Sequence, we were being told backstage that Sequence are really confident on this map as survivors, and you're seeing out there the snap outs with their friends. Oh, Excites, you've been caught completely off guard, my son! You have no idea where Ghostface is coming from, and that's going to be a jump scare moment. You can put that in your next montage.
Oh no, big problems, team. Excise supposedly going to be going up onto a pain res hook, and this is going to absolutely change the pace of the game entirely. We are going to see the second pain res coming out, and a ton of regression onto whatever the most active generator is, and goodness, that is just so tough. Seth does get unhooked in the distance though, and hopefully we should see a reset. But with 2 gens getting done pretty early on, a survivor in position to get the rescue onto Excise, we are going to be catching out iPick here. We already have the power, but snapped out once again. iPick is not messing around and is going to be trying to take the aggro for as long as possible here, and Pedro's just not going to be having it. We need to try and find where this reset could be happening, and if we had to guess, it would probably be near one of our Gaunt Palace, but Excise actually going to be getting reset at the hook.
Yeah, well, I mean, wherever it is, they're going to hear Ghostface coming. Snapped out of power once again. Poor Pedro just wants to use his power, but the survivors aren't giving him a moment to breathe, whether that be, from the survivor that's getting chased or from the amazing teamwork action we've already seen so far in the game. And only 2 gens done. There's so much more to come in this game. But Sequence feel like they kind of, like we were discussing earlier, they seem to know what they're doing here against Ghostface on Larry's.
Oh no, 100%. And Swatter playing this main area absolutely beautifully, but is going to get tagged here, unfortunately. But better that than getting fully exposed and insta down. But we do, I believe, have a pallet to work with at this back area here. Not the safest in the world, but oh my goodness, the patience from Swatter is insane, but is just going to be absolutely trapped to this pallet here, trying to fake out the vault with a flashlight click. But Pedro is not even going to be able to gain bloodlust, but we'll get that down onto Swatter eventually. But yeah, no, that is a bit tough. We should be seeing, I believe, another stack of pain resonance coming out here, which is another minus 25 to the gens, and we've been sitting at 3 gens for quite a bit now, as we've had to get some resets out of the way and try and recover from this position. But Pedro trying to capitalize on everything. We catch out Seth here, trying to pre-leave nice and sneakily away from this active generator, and we don't really see... Oh, we do actually. Well spotted there, Barry. Excise was also working on this generator and has to play the peekaboo mind game and is going to be able to get the snap out.
Yeah, it's been 3 gens for a while here, so I imagine we'd have a couple of gens popping soon. Swatter did really well there on that pallet just to buy, you know, a couple of extra 10 seconds for his teammate, which, as we know in comp DBD, is absolutely everything. For those of you who are new to the kind of comp scene, the reason Swatter did so well there, just kind of standing still and just fast vaulting, means the killer isn't able to build up any bloodlust as they're going around. So Swatter doing everything he can to deny Pedro getting much faster down. And there we go, there's one gen popping in the distance. But no save came in while this was all going on. So Pedro securing that second stage, but I think the survivors were ready for that. They knew they were sending Swatter to second just to pump out those final gens. And this gen spread is massive. No way Pedro can hold this.
Yeah, we've gotten 3 fresh hooks and 4 stages as of right now. Swatter is going to be the survivor that we want to try and get eliminated to force us into 3v1 for Master's side to try. Oh, wow. A really nice snap out, I believe, from Swatter on the hook, as there was no killer instinct. Yeah, that's exactly right. We see a failed skill check on one of those generators there. I think, oh, we do also see a survivor crouching off in the corner of the screen there, trying to come in for the double save. We have iPick and we have Seth coming in for the double. Does manage to make it through, though. Wow. Petro only going to be able to get a double tag from this.
Yeah, and I think this is the point now we need to start thinking about that win con. Still not entirely sure what the stages are. Obviously, with the 2-point penalty that Master gifted to Sequence, things have got a little bit more complicated. But sorry, this chase here is pretty crucial. Seth's been caught out and Pedro's right on her tail. She can't get away fast enough, and that's another down. Nope. Ooh, I don't think Seth has a pain res on her, so that's not going to come into play.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I believe iPick is our last fresh survivor. So we do want to be saving him for last, I would imagine. And the reset is actually going to be coming out onto iPick first. We hear a gen that's almost nearly fully completed. Excise. Oh, sorry. Excise. Ow. Blast Mine. You love to see it. So, Sequence are in a decent position to bring this. Oh, that Blast Mine, I think, stunned me more than it stunned Pedro.
Yeah, so the win cons have kind of come in here from our team behind the desk, and it looks like 8 stages with 4 fresh will be a master win, and 7 stages will be a master lose. So still a few stages away there. Pedro, oh, Swatter goes down, and Swatter's death on hook. So this is going to kind of help Pedro if he can find another survivor before this final gen pops. This last gen from the survivors has got to pop soon. Oh, there it is! It pops right behind him, and they're going to bomb out of there. Excise, though, look how close he is to being stalked. That 20% increase. Oh, Pedro, have you gone the wrong way? No, he doesn't want it. I thought for sure with the stalk there, but maybe he's worried that survivors can come back in and take the hit. This is so close, though. If they've been on that door from the start, it's gone, but they're not. They're not on that door, and Pedro, well, he's lost most of the survivors, sees faint scratch marks there, and surely he has to commit to this, and he will. Seth has been found. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want to get snapped out. He's going to try and go for some sneaky play here as he passes gently round the edge of the map. He sees it, but I think Seth spotted and is going to call that out to the teammates.
So what Pedro's doing here is he needs to find iPick in order to win, as the other survivors would be a 8-stage 3 fresh, which would put this into a tie, but Pedro is actually trying to play for the win here. So I think Pedro is very suspicious that iPick might be in the area here, the only survivor who can give this win con to Pedro right now. And we do see some scratch marks. Could this be iPick on the Ada heading towards the gate? It is, but we hear the gate is being completed. In the distance, the snap out comes through, and our survivors are going to be able to get 3 out the door, with the final result only being 6 stages.
Yeah, that's got to be the win for Sequence, and as we hoped, we're going to be heading to Billy for Game 3. This should be it. Yeah, confirmation there. Sequence 34, Master 28. We will come back right after the break. What a Ghost Face game that was, and is all going to be settled by the one and only Hillbilly. Catch you right after the break.
Alrighty guys, welcome back to DBDLeague, where we're seeing the tiebreaker for our first matchup between Master and Sequence, where we are going to be seeing the beloved Hillbilly on the new and, let's not say improved, Gas Heaven, where we're already going to be seeing our first chase, I believe, onto Excise, who's going to be pre-dropping that filler really well. Going to go for the zone with the low pro, which is a very smart play from Dark here. trying to maintain this chase onto Excise here. They're going to go for the bamboozle on the window, and we're going to get rid of this pallet as well. But no, Excise playing it extra greedy is going to be able to make another lap around and possibly change to another fill here as well.
Yeah, he has changed into the filler, and don't want to talk about the rest of this game because this chase is too exciting. Here we go, the mind games are coming out from Dark. Surely it's going to be a low pro force. Oh, he gets stunned in the blind just for extra salt in the wounds. Excise having a field day here against the Billy to start off things, and goes back through the previously bamboozled window into the small pallet. And this could be a low pro hit. It will be indeed. Beautifully executed there from Dark as Excise gets sent back in towards the middle of the map, and he's going to have to find some other strong pallets to play around.
And first chase of the trial being a lucky break survivor as well on Excise. That would have made tracking a little bit difficult, but Dark with that beautiful game sense is going to be able to catch up here and figure out where Excise has gone to. Not going to be dropping the pallet just yet though. Excise does have a bit of time here to greed these pallets and caught Dark off guard there with that pallet drop. Gonna try and go for a bit of a zone here. Excise should be able to make it over to the main building, if I'm not mistaken. And there it is. Oh, and this new main building is just so miserable for our poor Hillbilly.
This pallet's here if you can't curve this entirely. Doesn't get it tight enough. Oh, and Excise doubles back. Oh, he's actually in a bad spot. He's going to have to drop this pallet in the middle here. Unless the rev comes through. The rev does come through and gets the stun. This is big distance he's got now, and they can go back through. Oh, I thought he was going to go back through the window. Maybe it was still just bamboozled off, but he'll take it this time for sure. And he's going to head his way into Sin-Car. Oh, Dark, what can you show us here? Oh, Excite's not going to give it to him. Here we go for the low pro chains. No! Oh, the balls on Excise just to take that. And are we looking at a 5-gen chase here? Hello, could we talk about what's going on in the rest of the map? Dark had such a strong performance on Blight. Goes no! Dark is getting rings run around him. And Excise is going to head back through. Yeah, he's going for the car pallet here. And now with the new gas saving, he can exit whenever he wants. Dark just chasing him down. Bloodlust now on Billy. And he goes for the rev. Excise calls him out on it. I don't think he's going to be able to make the curve. He does make the curve. Excise elects not to go for a weave. And Dark finally gets the curves. Hey, guys, okay, relax. There's only a 3-gen chase. But that 3rd gen popped a while ago. I imagine there are plenty more coming on. Pain Res might stop it a little bit. But oh my gosh, what a first chase from Excise.
And we even have Ipic taking a body for Excise here, but it's not going to be enough for the wiggle to come through. And Dark is going to have to take another chase at the main building here. We see a missed skill check on a different gen across the map, but thankfully Dark is going to be able to get a hook near one of the active generators, so at least we know that gen isn't going to be freely worked on across the map. Sorry, but Ipic is just taking this chase so far away from where Excise was hooked. Dark really just has to try and play for as many fresh hooks as possible here, and then potentially try and make a play later on with the no one escapes death. But Ipic is playing this dropped pallet absolutely beautifully. Double vault, triple vault, no quadruple vault, but going to be able to make it into Shaq here.
Oh, he's got bloodlust, so he might be able to just cut off before this pallet. He does indeed. The bloodlust just before those bolts started going on the pallet. It just kicked in. And Dark able to use that to stretch all the way to Shaq and deny that Shaq on stage. So that's a fresh one, which is a big recovery, you'd have to say, here from Dark. Before the final gem pop, he's got another fracture. And if you can find one more, this won't be the worst of games, but wow, what an initial chase from Excise. So excited to see the Billy here, and the game might be over before it's even begun.
Sadly, that's just how it goes for the Hillbilly, but we see that there is a gen with a lot of progress that I think has been reserved to try and tank some pain reses, but with that second hook that we saw onto Ipic, we never actually made it to a pain res hook, so this gen down pretty far away from the main building gen, which is being actively doubled, has still got a lot of progress. And we're going to low pro break this main building door, try and catch out our survivors that have been doubling this gen here. And we see them rotating around the main building, going to be able to loop back around to the window. We found Excise once again, but we need fresh hooks. And Dark knows that he's going to go straight back to this other gen.
Even if he didn't want fresh hooks, I don't think he wants to take that chase again. Go, just have the shop gen. You can have it. I don't want any more of that smoke, Excise. And yeah, going to go prevent this one. The shop gen a lot safer now. Oh, the head on. Oh, with the flashbang. This is toxic, guys. Okay, we're gonna need some Dead by Daylight police in here. This is bullying. Poor Dark, man. And you know what? He hasn't really made a lot of mistakes. He's just had a fantastic case of exercise. Gets the low pro chain, and that's going to force back towards the main chop gem, which has just been completed. So potential here for a double hit. And if Swatter comes in to take the body block, do they expect the no-air? That's the question.
I feel like at this point, Survivor's been getting really, really good at being able to tell the 4% movement speed difference, and I think Seth is really going to find out here at this pallet. And there is the double vault, which will expose the no-ed, but the doors are getting opened. We are going to be taking this third fresh hook, but will only be a total of 5 stages for Dark. So we'll quickly tally up those points and have a look at what the result is from the first round of this tiebreaker. But I'm sure Sequence are going to be sitting very, very pretty going in to the deciding match of this set here, as I believe it's probably going to be Excise on the Billy, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. I think we heard before the match it's going to be Excise. From my head, I think that's going to be 13 points for Master. Confirmation it is 17 points for Sequence, 13 points for Master. And a really good performance from Dark's Blight, but couldn't put it around on the Billy. What do you think happened for him?
I mean, Gas Heaven doing Gas Heaven things, and Excise with a really, really beautiful 3-gen chase is just exactly what you want for a Billy game. But let's quickly swap over, get the next game set up right after this short break.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with Billy on Gas Haven, and after a stunning performance from Excise on the Survivor side, he's now taken it upon himself to have a go as Billy himself. Can he shorten the chase that, because he took such a long chase himself, he's going to be hoping to have a repeat in the game. So, how are we feeling about this one?
Honestly, I am really, really excited to see how Excise performs here. Didn't even opt to go for that first chase at the main building. We're already getting a firecracker throw from Sir on the ace, but is going to get tagged through that window nice and early on into the trial, and Excise almost pulling off the snipe. The chase is going to be able to make it to the shack when we're going to insta bamboozle the window and an insta drop of the shack pallet to try and prolong this chase just a bit longer. But things are looking a bit tough for Sir. I don't think we have a whole lot of resources to utilize around here. We do make it back, but we have another teammate here, and there's the head-on coming up from Marco.
Yeah, Sir was in a really tricky spot there. Had to insta drop shack, couldn't play time, couldn't play around it, and Marco, the Lorry, just coming in just to save his skin. And a drop there, going to buy a little bit more time. So what looked like a bad chase to start with is going pretty well now for Sir. He can have Lorry to thank for that. And he doesn't pass towards the window, goes back towards the pallet. Oh, and the mind gaze from Excise completely catches Sir off guard. And my heart stopped there as he did that. I was scared of a CJ tag, but probably not at this level. So he went for the instant break, just natural instincts, and gets a hook 3 gens quicker than our killer did for Master. Excise there, proving his strength on Hillbilly.
100% Excise just being able to push a Survivor off of that generator right before it was being completed. Ooh. But the unhook has happened. Lori is going to get trapped, body blocked in by the teammates and the car wall. We're going to see a nice slug here as well. A beautiful tag through the base kit BT. The first gen is going to be getting completed that we saw. Actually, a different generator, sorry. We might be seeing 2 gens getting done for the price of 1, as we didn't see pain res from that first hook. I'd assume not the greatest spawn of hooks here. Excise even nearly being able to land that down onto Pedro, but not quite being able to pressure this gen from being completed, as the slug is on a pallet right near this generator. So Excise is really just stuck between a rock and a hard place, deciding on what to do here.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think Excise maybe got a little bit carried away chasing Sir there, because he only ever got the BT hit, which ultimately doesn't do a lot. And Lori was down on the pallet, and she had time to crawl to that pallet, so he couldn't safely pick her up, and lost a little bit of time. But it does mean survivors aren't doing gens, trying to get that pallet saved. And that comes in the nick of time as pallet gets put onto the pain res. Just about that gen gets done.
Wow, the absolutely last second generator completion by Marso. Second gen done. Third gen well underway of being completed, even through that pain res, and we've had survivors splitting up on the gens, and Sir trying to take some aggro, as we've already seen a hook state onto Sir. Pedro now in danger here, going over towards the main building. He's going to have a lot of resources to utilize here, and I think Excise is just going to completely ignore Pedro here and try and go back to stop this gen from being completed. They haven't really been able to catch out anyone except for Sir once again, who really wants this chase, but Excise is not going to give it to him, as Pally, freshly off the hook, is going to be the one in danger.
Yeah, strong start from Excise, but things have slowed down a little bit as he's failing to, connect this down. He's chased a few survivors now, but he is, getting pallets out the way, setting himself up for later in the game. He always has Noed in play. And to remind you at home, the win con is 6. Ooh, was the swing on there?
Nah, not going for the swing there. We saw a beautiful fast fault from Nancy, but just to steal your thunder a bit, I believe we need to see at least 6 stages and 3 fresh hooks. Anything above that would be a win for Sequence here, but Master have been putting up a really good fight. Third gen gets completed, and Pedro being able to dodge out the saw is we're gonna bamboozle the Z wall to make sure we get this down onto Pedro.
Oh, you can't do that. You got to accept the Z wall 1v1. You can't bamboozle it. That's just cheating, Excise. And here we go. Gets this. The pallet's not there anymore. He has to go for the locker play. Doesn't go for it and gets down straight away. So surprised he didn't go in for the locker. They had no other resources. Possibly hoping that Excise had kind of let down his chainsaw, anticipating Pedro going into the locker. Not entirely sure what happened there, but what I do know is that it's 3 fresh hooks for Excise, and if he can find Marco and gets a kill onto Marco, that's it. That's GG. 6 hooks is all they need.
I think by catching out Marco here, I think we need to force a second stage onto Pedro first. We do have Noed to utilize here, but actually, yeah, no, sorry, 4 fresh and 6 stage total would be the win for Sequence here. Thank you for that, Barry. Doing a much better job than me here on the desk for your first time as well. So I'm very impressed. So, the game is really at a very interesting point here, right? Because you've got a lot of your generators split off across the map. Excise really can't pressure the gens and needs to sort of go for this extra stage here to make it more feasible to go for other survivors here.
Yeah, here's the thing, other survivors kind of willing to let Pedro just die so they can get out that last gen and hopefully get all 3 survivors out. That's always a possibility. Oh, and yeah, there you go, the gen pops. Second stage, he can't confirm this, right? He has to get another down if he wants to win this game. Pedro can down hook. If all survivors get but the cross map from all the way from Shaq. Cross map downtown, Sir. See you later. And with that cross map snipe, that should be the game. Sir, this will be second and third stage confirmed in the basement. And just want to check, Sir wasn't already on second stage. Yep, that's it. He just has to camp the top of stairs, and that should be the win. GG Excise, what a cross map.
Wow, I can't believe Master really looked like they were bringing it back. They did an amazing job, even down to 1 generator. 2 or 3 stages, I believe. And as we're seeing the door getting opened off in the distance, we should be seeing some escapes from Masa. And there it is, 6th stage. And I believe that was 3 fresh hooks as well. And that should be enough for the win here, as we saw quite a similar result here. And wow, Sequence are going to be winning it by 3 points. Take it away, Barry.
Yeah, 3 points win for Sequence. So glad we got to see that Billy game, because that cross map from Excise, star of the show, the spotlight all on him. An amazing 3-gen chase to start things off. Probably even more, because those 3 gens popped way before he went down. And then a cross map to clinch the game from Sequence, just as Master were coming back into it. They fall at the final hurdle. It is Sequence to take it 2-1 over Master.